So yeah, emotional journey, and yeah, every time I watch it, something like pops out that didn't happen the last 100 times. So it's amazing just to see it for myself. It's just, the journey was just amazing.
And was there something you didn't do in the film? Because it seemed like you were doing something in all aspects.
Well, yeah, and it's a very the story goes like this. When I planned to go to Iran and do this film, that was back in 2011, and I wasn't supposed to direct it, near produce it, or write it, or any of that. I was supposed to just act in it because I just graduated from Stella Adler Acting School in Los Angeles, and I was like, if nobody's giving me a role, then let make myself a role, what I would like to play, and that was the role I really wanted to play. But then as year went by, I realized it's not easy to put the crew together or find people that have similar vision. So slowly but surely then suddenly I'm producing it and I'm writing it, and I was always like, I'll help a little now, but at the end I was the only one who was doing that. So yeah.
Fascinating, because we know you first as a producer from Reload. So
yeah,
it was incredible to get a short that you produced, and then last year we actually had this as one of our feature submissions.
Absolutely, yeah. So going from short film to feature film is a very big transition, especially if you decide to go to some place that they haven't done this type of films before. So you're of course going to face a lot of challenges. And I would say like 10 years ago I was very naive, but this film, although for a lot of people it's just a film, but for me it was how would I say it? It kind of grew me as a human being, if it makes sense. It made me a lot deeper to understand people and what they need, what I need, how to communicate. Because also I must say I love small theaters like this because you can say stuff that you normally cannot do in big festivals with big screening. So our budget was about like few hundred, $300,000, which means that you cannot make an international 2-country location with like a foreign, like a Western crew and all that. So I learned throughout this journey how to communicate with people in order to get those fire trucks, in order to get the SWAT team there, and all of that. So I must say the film very much improved my communication skills with people, and as long as I knew what they want, what is their passion, I could always get what I want. So that was one of the ways I could get all those stuff in the film.
So I think we'll talk a bit more about the film as we move on, but I wanted to talk more about your younger days actually, because with this film it's like you're doing everything, right?
Yeah.
So, but really when we looked watching the film, we're thinking about, okay, so there's acting and then there's these incredible stunt work and fight scenes that you've also come up with as well.
Set piece.
Yeah, big set pieces, all that stuff. So obviously that stuff doesn't happen overnight, right? So, and you said you went to acting school, but also what was your martial arts background?
So I started when I was 4 years old. I remember my first toy being nunchucks. And the reason was that my father actually studied Shaolin Wushu in China for 5 years, and he was the only one who got the red belt. And back in 70s, I think, around that time, so my dad brought Shaolin Wushu to Iran, and he has like millions of followers, and everybody knows him as Shifu Sohrab. And basically, the irony is like 50 years later, his son is bringing action cinema to Iran, which is fun to see the journey, how it goes. But I started when I was 4 or 5. My dad was my own Shifu who taught me all of the things, and I hated. I used to hate martial art till I was 15. And what changed, one day I just stood up to my dad and said, I don't know, no more. No more 8-hour trainings, no more waking up 5 This is not Shaolin Temple, this is Finland, I need to chill. So what he did, he said, okay, you can stop doing martial art, but before that, you need to go to Shaolin Temple for a couple of months. Just that alone, the decision he made and the 2 months I spent in China, it just taught me so much about the discipline and about that I actually knew some moves, because if the monks were like, whoa, I was like, oh, okay, I might have something here. So when I went back to Finland, I was the one who told my dad that, hey, let's go to those 8-hour trainings and get this body ready.
Oh, so you were actually raised in Shaolin Kung Fu then, so...
Yeah, Shaolin Wushu, Shaolin Kung Fu was my kind of a base martial art, which I started with and then transitioned to a lot of, because as you saw in the film, there was a lot of techniques used. There was Jet Kundo in that very narrow, like oil changing spot, and then there was like some judo, jiu-jitsu, like a lot of stuff that I could use. I tried to make it. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then what made you decide to go into acting then?
Oh, I was doing martial art, then I was doing stunt, and of course they say if you want to do acting more, you need to go to school and whatnot. So I did that school part, and after spending all that money and years, I decided, or I saw that my passion is actually directing, because, and I knew this because I already knew this film's going to look like this 10 years ago. I didn't know how, I didn't have any clue what kind of tools to use. But I kind of had the vision, and then that brought me to like more towards the directing part of it.
Yeah, so I assume you were a fan of Hong Kong cinema then?
Oh yeah.
Because I think we can see quite a few obvious tributes in the film to Hong Kong cinema. So I assume your father raised you on those films as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
We had all those VHS.
And then, so as a stunt guy, so you were doing martial arts, then you went into stunt.
Yeah, then went to the stunt, then went to the acting. And then as soon as I graduated, I was like, okay, I'm going to go and act in my own movie. But then 10 years later, I'm directing my own movie. It's just like, yeah, if nobody does it, I'll do it.
Yeah, so were you doing stunts in Finland, or were you working?
Yeah, in Finland. I had I was teaching Kung Fu in Finland, and I had some students. And every time they did some action, Finland is not so much known of its action cinema. Nowadays, it's coming up. So yeah, back then, every time they needed some action guy, I was the guy.
Oh, I see. So you're Finland's go-to guy.
Yeah.
Right.
So.
Okay, so we have your grounding, your youth as well.
Yeah.
But I just think it's so fascinating that when we watch this film, there's so many things that come out of it for when we see all the things that you did for this movie as well. And obviously the outtakes is a very Hong Kong thing to do. So that was which is always amazing, I think. And Will, do you want to talk about the film a little bit more?
Well, I just wanted to ask, does this mean this was your first time filming in Iran? How did you make the transition to getting the film?
Yes, so basically I was born there, but I was raised my whole life in Finland. So I decided, okay, if I have a few $100,000, where could I shoot a movie with that money that doesn't look like a $200,000 movie? And I knew I had one shot, because I financed the movie, I sold whatever I had and put everything in it. So I knew if I have one movie to make and showcase what I could do, that would possibly open doors for me to make bigger stuff. So kind of like a calling card. And I thought, okay, Iran sounds good, because my dad was already there. My dad said, come here, make a movie here. And then, yeah, that was the decision. And it was a budget thing also, because we shot in Finland for 2 days or 3 days. And that was equal to about 35 days shooting in Iran. So it was that, the price difference was that.
Wow.
Yeah.
A huge difference.
Yeah.
And you mentioned earlier there was some difficulties with the government as well.
Oh yeah, government, they hated me. They actually arrested me saying that, why are you taking so many, like, aerial from Tehran? What are you trying to show? I'm like, Iran. I'm trying to show the country. I'm like, this is nothing political, but it was, okay, here's the thing. People have tried to make action films in Iran, and they've failed in a way, in their eye. So they were very careful who give the permit to. And it took me 2 years to get my directing permit. And that's not the only one. You need the shooting permit, directing permit, script permit, then you need to permit to show the film. There's so many permits. At the third one, I was like, oh, okay, whatever. But anyways, I have to say, this is a very good news for the film, but 2 days ago, we got our cinema license in Iran. So next Wednesday, so in 3 days, it will open up over 200 movie theaters in Iran. This film.
Amazing.
And I'm excited and nervous because I don't know how the public would react to it. Imagine 50 years you live in a country where not one action film has come in, and then suddenly there's this film that comes out. So it's a risky move, but it's something that I was like, okay, we'll do it, and whatever happens, happens. But at least I think martial artists, action film people, and all those young people, they deserve something else than just like heavy drama that you just get headache out of them. You need some fun. And if I can give that one kid in the village a fun time, 2 hours watching this coming out and doing ha ha ha, I think that's like a blessing.
Yeah, no, amazing. It's amazing because when we think about how martial arts cinema has evolved in the last few years with films coming out from countries that we would never expect,
Yes.
like Indonesia, Cambodia, Thailand back in the day, Vietnam, you're mostly in Asia, and then now Iran, like something coming out from Iran, it's so unexpected.
Game changing.
Yeah, as you say, like those countries generally tend to be grounded in quite drama, romance, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And then you see something like this coming out. But I think, what I see with this film is, because I really want to talk about some of the work that went into designing those set pieces, the action set pieces.
Yeah.
Because the stunts are amazing, but then they're so creative as well. Like the jump off the tire is such a creative idea, which obviously you got injured quite badly doing.
Yeah.
That's your Jackie Chan movie, isn't it?
Yes, that's like Jackie Chan. Come on, everybody has those VHS Jackie Chan movies, and I believe it or not, I would love to bring that back. Like if we could bring that kind of action back to the cinema, where you actually use the environment as a weapon, it not only shows you as a creative fighter, but as a fun for audience to experience that. Because then every time that those characters are in a place where audience sees some stuff, it's I can feel it. It's right there. So I love those movies, and that's why I try to bring it very subtly. See the tree there. Oh, okay, that's exactly the V we want, and then we go push through it. So yeah, using the environment.
So did a lot of it come up off the fly then? You just kind of went there and thought,
yeah. So okay, here's the thing. First of all, no stunt people in it. So all the stunt we did, all the fighting we did, I had 2 months time to train with martial artists. And you guys know, martial artists and stunt, there is a difference. And I know because I got hit by martial artists, people that really hit me hard. And I said, listen, I cannot get bruised. You cannot hit me. Stay far and we'll do it. So there was so much that happening, and a lot of time when we were trying to get those reactions working, we had to take so many takes. Even that one take with the rope, me going up and hitting, I think we took 28, 29 times just that take, to get it perfectly. And what I loved about them, although they didn't do stunts much, but they were so passionate. They said, hit me, again. I said, we got it. No, again. One more time. You can hit harder. I said, no, it's fine. But yeah, so no stunt people. And then all the actions, like for example, the scene where I come to the door, I say, open the door, and I hit the guy. To the whole going upstairs, fighting in the back, going to the pool, the guys coming in, then we go inside and all that. We took all of that in less than 8 hours. And the reason was we were supposed to be there 14 hours. That was the only day that I said we'll do over 12 hours. I always kept it 12 hours. I didn't want to overuse the crew. So I said 12 hours. But that day I went and I said, guys, listen, today is the 14-hour day. And I knew if I can push through, the crew will push through. So I couldn't go, even if I wanted to, I couldn't go like, I had to be like, then go to the room and go, oh my God, this is hell. So then I just had to show them that if I can do it, you guys can do it, let's do it. So we get to this place and the electricity of whole that street goes away for 4 or 5 hours. We don't have money to come back again. We cannot shoot in daytime. We have to get it on, and I'm sitting there praying like, give me, let there be light, let there be light. And finally, after 4 or 5 hours, we got the light, and I remember my DOP say, Ramin, we cannot get all of that. I say, you just press that record and watch me. And then we started going bit by bit, and in the end, we got a little bit that light coming, but we closed the blind a little bit and color corrected, so it looks still like a night. But we got all of that. So there was no time for like set designing a lot or like practicing all the movements to go exactly as it is, because a lot of surprises happen. Even in the end with that bald guy, where that guy shoots him in the leg, we had to shoot him because the night before he fell from the stairs and couldn't walk, so he actually had the stick. And I'm like, okay, we need to shoot in 2 hours. Okay, give me the script. Okay, so you take the gun, pop, pop, pop. So everything had to happen like this because the whole country operates like that. Everything happens so fast, and like even when you're shooting and then you have a plan to do this, but suddenly you're like, nope, we cannot shoot here because this building is owned by this guy and he doesn't want us. We have a permit. Nobody cares about the permit. Get out. So then, yeah, so things change a lot, and there wasn't, unfortunately, a lot of time to shoot everything. And everything you saw, the 90-minute film, was shot toward 5 years, and 5 times we stopped and start again, stop and start again. There was the leg, there was the COVID, there was the actor getting pregnant, there was so many stuff. So 5 times, stop, go, stop, go, stop.
Wow.
You would not know.
Yeah, and the last time it was the COVID time, and I say, if I don't make the film now, I just can't. I cannot afford the time, the money, and any of that. So we go back, everything is ready, we shoot for 5 days, and the fight scene in the alley with me and the motorcycle guy, that was the day we actually had COVID and we didn't know it. So I was fighting, then we got so tired, we came home, and that motorcycle guy is actually my AD. He was my assistant director, he has been my student for like 15 years in Finland, so he was doing a lot of the fightings with me. So we came home and he was like, Shifu, are you okay from today's fight? I said, no, I'm hurt everywhere. What's going on? So we took the test, and then we were hospitalized that same night, and I was there for 2 weeks in hospital, and we had to stop for like 1 month and go again.
So yeah, I told you guys he put his life on the line.
Yeah. No, I was in the hospital actually working on the script because the whole end scene where the SUVs come to that end fighting building, we were supposed to shoot that in like 13, 14 days because there was a lot of things happening in different levels and a lot of dialogues, action, and blah, blah, blah. So I knew as soon as we got the COVID that our money is done, the hospital bills and everything, we cannot shoot that. So I was trying to figure out how can I take some scenes out or how can I organize so I can shoot that in less time. And the doctors were actually coming in and saying, do you understand if you don't stop work? And I had all these breathing stuff on my nose and everything. And they say, if you don't stop, you're going to die. You have to stop. So they tried to take the script from me. And it was funny. I was fighting back. No, I'd rather die than not make this movie. You leave me alone. Let me work on my scene. I don't care. Throw me out. So I was working, which then they figured it out. They actually put the sleeping medicine in my eye. And they go to in the morning I wake up, I was like, who put me on the sleep? And we shot the whole last 30 minutes of the movie in 6 days. Yeah.
Wow, that's the thing, because normally you shoot action, you have to plan so much.
Yes.
Like so much.